Yo, it's your boy Openly, and today we're about to do yet another Mario What If. This What If Deku was Taskmaster. Before we get into it, remember to subscribe to the channel. It will only take a second, and you can always go back on your claims once my channel gets inevitably trashed. With that being said, let's truly get into it.
1, 2, 3 bitches wanna fuck on me, she suck on me, and now your bitch she tripping like a C, nigga, hold up. Young nigga, I'm tryna feel some tougher. Talking tougher, nigga, I ain't social. Talking tougher, bitch, I ain't too bolder. Run down, my town.
So we start off this What If with Deku at the Quirk Doctor, as the Quirk Doctor would tell him what his quirk is. His quirk would seem useless to the Quirk Doctor, so he didn't want to steal it. He would tell him that his quirk is to copy other people's movements. And Deku, he didn't really think nothing of it. He was just happy he got a quirk. But when Deku got to school, he was bullied and ridiculed because his quirk was not flashy and it seemingly done nothing. So Bakugo continuously attacked him. The first time he couldn't do anything. And he just wasn't strong enough, even if he could anticipate his movements. The explosions were just too powerful for Deku. But Deku, he was taking his notes. Over the years, Deku would just learn Bakugo's fighting style. And he's felt, he's not really into the whole All Might wave thing. He doesn't really like All Might as much as he used to in the original and in this. He used to like All Might more in the past when he first got his quirk. But, he started being more interested in the Taskmaster. Not a hero, but a vigilante that was a villain before. So pretty much, whatever footage he could find of the Taskmaster, he would write notes and pretty much copy every movement. As Deku would be staring at these videos multiple times, studying every frame. Deku realizing that, damn bro, Taskmaster is kind of cool. And honestly, it gave him a drive to be a vigilante. Because with a quirk like that, he most likely would not even get into UA. So pretty much, it gave him a drive to be a vigilante. Deku, at night, he's on top of a building. He uses skills that he pretty much copied from Taskmaster. He just scaled the wall, and pretty much he's on the building. And he's witnessing a robbery as he would jump down. As pretty much he would try to attack the robber, and he would tell the girl to run. As the girl would run off, and it would just be a one-on-one fight. As the robber would shoot multiple bullets at Deku, they would all miss because he's seen bullets get shot before, and he knows how fast they go. So he knows where he has to move if they get shot at what type of angle. So pretty much, he used a signature move that Taskmaster uses a lot. As Deku would flip him over and step on his neck. As the gunman would pretty much point up and attempt to shoot at Deku. He would have missed, but Deku would still flinch, giving the gunman just a little bit of second just to kick Deku straight off of him. As the robber would pretty much get up and he would shoot at Deku one more time. As another shot after that would go off. Deku, thinking he's been shot, he would flinch. As a body would drop to the ground, realizing it's not his, he would open his eyes once again. Seeing that the robber is dead, he would look behind him and look up a building, seeing the Taskmaster. As Deku would attempt to scale the building to catch up to him, Deku was successful at that. As Deku would run across multiple buildings to try to catch up to the Taskmaster. Multiple buildings later, Deku would actually trip and sprain his ankle. And he would, pretty much hit his rib on another building, then fall into the trash in an alleyway. As, the Taskmaster, not really being a villain or a licensed hero, He says, what's the worst the kid can do? Like, the only thing he can really do is snitch, and he's gonna get in more trouble than me because he's not even supposed to be out here. I'm a vigilante. I'm doing the thing that vigilantes do. But pretty much, yeah, he pretty much, goes down to help him. There's not much he can do about his injuries, the fucking sprained rib and the sprained ankle. So he must be tough. But he does, inject him with the whatever the fuck, and the whatever the fuck actually makes his body numb so he doesn't feel the pain so he can walk it off. Because Deku, he's never felt that type of no hurt. So he can't usually just walk that off like Taskmaster will be able to. So pretty much, Taskmaster would pretty much be like, I see you have skill. And by this point in time, Taskmaster, he's about to be entering his 60s, so he's gonna retire. So he's looking for somebody to train, and somebody's gonna be able to train quick. And he understands that Deku has skill, and pretty much Deku would oblige to training with Taskmaster. As Taskmaster, over the 7 months, let's just say he has recordings of what he does, because he is still a god at what he does. It's just that anybody could make mistakes. So pretty much, he still watches what he does still when he records, all the battles he gets into, pretty much all the fights. And Deku for 7 months, and this is before the 10 months of training. So he's just getting more and more, he's just getting more and more footage of Taskmaster, just watching that shit most of the 7 months while his injuries are healing. So when the 10 months of training starts, he pretty much seeing it all. Let's be honest here. So the 10 months of training starts, and he starts learning the basics to martial art, which is a martial art which I don't know but what I would call it, but it's pretty much a bunch of martial arts that Taskmaster learned and used before, plus his own street fighting, just put all rolled into one. Pretty much Deku would learn the basics of that in the first 2 months. It would be pretty easy for him because he has already seen Taskmaster's moveset. Pretty much he already knows that shit. But anybody who doesn't have Deku's quirk couldn't even get to advanced, because advanced is just some crazy shit. Like you would take multiple years for you to even get halfway through, but Deku does it in the rest of the months of the 10 months of training. So there's about like 8 months of him doing advanced, and in the last 3 months he would actually start being a bit of a sidekick to Taskmaster. And he has his own suit that's pretty much exactly the same, and it's actually fitted for him. As Deku is gifted a weapon. It is a sword, and like fucking, I remember in like the fucking Spider-Man game, Taskmaster, he had this sword, and it was like fucking a lightsaber basically. Like it kind of looked like fire. So pretty much that's what I'm gonna be giving him. Pretty much a sword of fire. So Deku, he kind of has that. It's gonna be a registered weapon before he gets into the exorcism. So pretty much, he can actually use it. So yeah, Deku, he's using that on his fucking 3 months of actual experience at the end. And no, he is not killing people because Taskmaster knows that there's no sense of him trying to do that. No sense of Deku doing that because Deku's trying to become a hero. But Taskmaster, he literally cannot become a hero because he was already a villain before. So even if he did try to do that, they would have to put him in jail for like 30 years, and by that time he comes out, he would be too old to even attempt this. So yeah, he can kill all the people he wants. Do as I say, not as I do. So yeah, Deku, he's not gonna be killing people out here. He's just gonna have the fighting experience, using the moveset and martial art and whatnot. And pretty much, Deku, he's pretty much a high class fighter, bro. And let me explain. Like, honestly, he can be able to beat mostly everybody in the class first try, just off of having that amount of training in such little time. But Deku, he got 3 to 10 months of training, and now he's at the entrance exam. As now the entrance exam will start. Now Deku was already pretty smart. As even if Deku didn't know it, he would just look around, as he would pretty much know what's the most common answers, and he would just guess if that was the right answers. He would just fucking copy whatever movement they're doing. So pretty much, what Sasuke did in the fucking tuning exams with the written tests? That's what he did. So yeah, he pretty much did that, and he would actually get at 80%. It's actually pretty good for cheating. So yeah, Deku got 80% on there. After that, Deku would go to the fucking explanation, and he would understand it. He would already have a plan by the time he's out, and he's in front of the gate, and he wouldn't even move toward the front, so Ida wouldn't have to come up and do his bullshit. So yeah, Deku, he would just be chilling and whatnot, and the gate would open as he would pull out his registered sword, which yeah, he has it registered before, so more people have weapons in this one, in the actual entrance exam. So yeah, pretty much he has his sword of fire, and he has that shit. And he also has this fucking, let's just make it a watch, which just turns into the actual suit when he wants it to. Which, yeah, that's what he does. So no one would actually recognize him until he would take it off. But yeah, he's in the suit, and he's just pretty much flying around, just cutting through robots and shit. And like, bruh, he don't even have to cut through this shit. He can just punch right through it, literally. Like, there's literally, like, he can literally just punch right through it, kick it, whatever. He can technically just pick it up. Like, these robots are not big. So pretty much, after like 80 points later of him just exploding things, gas bombs, whatever, just regular bombs and shit, like advanced technology. And yeah, he's just beating them with that shit, plus his martial arts and that, and he's even saving a couple of people. But yeah, pretty much whatchamacallit pull up, the 0-pointer. And the 0-pointer, let's just say it fucking glitches out and it just knocks down a building, and that's what debris that caught Uraraka under there. So yeah, Deku, he's actually on a building, and he would actually jump off and start, flying pretty much. As pretty much you pull out a bow and arrow, which the bow and arrow actually gonna paralyze somebody. I'm just making this shit up at this point, but yeah, the bow and arrow is just gonna paralyze. And yeah, he actually gets a headshot, and even instead of paralyzing a robot, it will just make it malfunction and blow up, because it is a liquid. It is like a fucking poison basically. And yeah, it will just blow up, as Deku will just swoop down and pretty much, get all the ruffle off of Uraraka and, save her easily. As, Deku gets done with all that, Uraraka thanks him, and the test ends, and Deku has, like, 258 points due to him, like, saving other people, plus his other points, then, Uraraka getting saved. So he pretty much, he has like 200 points. And Deku would go home, and he would wait for the 2 weeks, as he would get the mail and the letter after the 2-week wait. that he got into UA. As he would tell Taskmaster this, and yeah, Deku, he's pretty ready to go into his first day UA. Deku would walk into the classroom once he got into UA and whatnot, and he would just sit down with the other two people that are there, like Momo and Todoroki, because they're recommended students, so they'll just be there before him. So yeah, pretty much, he would just sit down, and the other students would come in like a couple of minutes later. Uraka come through and thank Deku again, and pretty much Aizawa, from the noise, he just wakes up and he tells them to shut up, and they all begin to go outside after Aizawa's order. So pretty much, everybody else is just like leaving now, and they're all lined up outside and to do like the ball throw and the rest of the test. As Deku would actually get first place in the entrance exam, so he would get to throw the ball first. And Bakugo, he's actually mad about that. And once he hears the points that he actually got, now he's even more mad. He's like 258 points. What the fuck? Jin, he was over here thinking that his quirk was useless, but it actually had a use for something. But yeah, Deku, he throws the ball, and he would get about 3,000 meters. As people are amazed, even Uraka, she knows that she could get higher, but 3,000 would just be the highest off of pure strength. Especially with Deku, because Deku doesn't have a quirk that would give him a strength enhancement. So yeah, it is a surprise. It is a surprise, not a surprise. What? Pretty much, yeah. Bakugo, he extra angry about that, but he think he can do better. So Bakugo up in second place, he would go second, he would still hit. Now I'm gonna bump it up to 1k meters, and he's still pretty mad that he couldn't actually beat Deku. But Uraka, she would go whatever place she was, and she would get infinity. But we all know who really won, for actual numbers, 3,000, Deku. But yeah, pretty much Uraka first place, Deku second place in the ball throw, and everybody else in their regular shits. So pretty much after that, the side-to-side lunges, and Deku gets second place on this because Mineta is just too fast with that shit. He just has the two balls beside him, and he's just speeding right. I'm not gonna continue that sentence because that's not how we do it, but still, you know what I mean. Pretty much, side-to-side lunges, great boy win. And the speed test, Ida don't come close. It's bootleg Sonic, no. Gotta go fast head ass, but nah, it's not good for him. He's getting bodied. But pretty much, Deku dusts him up real quick, and he just speeds right past him, like he's faster than him. And he gets first place in that. Then the strength test gets first place. Then the jump test first place, because this nigga actually scale buildings and jump across other buildings. So come on now, and plus he's just strong and fast. So yeah, pretty much, Deku, he pretty much has the highest score overall out of all of them. But yeah, after some regular shit for the rest of the day, the next day All Might comes through, and Aizawa doesn't have to do his job anymore. So he goes to sleep, and All Might actually, does the hero versus villain things as he explains it and whatnot, and they get paired up as Deku and Momo versus Bakaroni. No, I'm not even mad that I slipped up. That's funny. Bakaroni, Bakugo, and fucking Todoroki. So pretty much, yeah, that's the teams. So it's Bakaroni versus Bakaroni and Tokaroni. Why I keep on fucking saying that shit, bro? Bakugo and I forgot his name. But yeah, Bakugo and Icy Hot versus fucking Deku and Momo. So yeah, pretty much it would pretty much begin. Todoroki does his little ice shit, but yet, pretty much Deku doesn't really care that much. They just, leave the building as Deku just flies up with Momo pretty much. And yeah, they just both kind of like fly up. Deku just Deku can just like pretty much his suit when he like touches people, he can just make them float up in the air. It's not a part of his quirk, it's just something that the suit can do. So yeah, they both just like float up into the top of the building, and there's a hatchet on top, and pretty much they both get in there as Momo would try to attack Bakugo with her fucking staff and shit, and Deku is going after Todoroki as Todoroki is out here getting fucking bodied. His ice is getting punched through. But this shit's not working, bro. As Todoroki would kind of like come around the ice wall and try to like do an ice spike up, but nah. Deku, he would just fucking smack that shit away and just kick Todoroki into the wall. As Todoroki, you'd like, what the fuck? Like, Todoroki, he never been hit like that, bro. Like, he's traumatized at this point. So pretty much, he does the signature move. He flips him over and steps on his neck, so he can't really move. He grabs the capture tape and he pretty much captures Todoroki. As Todoroki would pretty much be kicked to the fucking corner. It wouldn't even be like kicked hard. He would just kind of slide away because of the ice. But yeah, pretty much he would just walk over to the bomb. But Bakaroni, he's not even. It's not even like he's doing much for Tim Momo because Momo is just using the fucking shield to block everything. And yeah, and the shield is kind of like transforming into a sword. So that's what fucking Momo was attacking Bakugo with. And Deku and Momo are just pretty much bodying Bakugo, bro. And he gets captured real quick, and pretty much they both touch the bomb, and they both pretty much win successfully. But that being said, now it's